Hello, Stephen White for Steve Arts 89. The Short Treks trailer. um, my enthusiasm for the Picard trailer has been, well, that's what Discovery does, doesn't it? Well, because it's still done by the Discovery people is the problem. Okay, there's some good things. Okay, we see original series, Discovery version, original series era sets, we see uniforms, we obviously are aboard the Enterprise years before Spock has come on as an ensign. We get to see him and Number One connecting, and if you know anything about the origins of the characters, you know that Number One was originally this cold scientific character, and when they got rid of her after the pilot, and he basically gave Spock her qualities, which is why you see Spock acting differently in the pilot, because he sort of melded the two characters together. So to see them together, to see how those qualities and how they would connect is interesting. And just seeing the Discovery sets repainted as the Enterprise sets, the original series era, or the Discovery version of the original series era, the Discovery verse, Kelvin verse, original series era, is interesting. And there's different uniforms. There are ones without the black collars because people complain about the black collars, and in the Cage era they didn't have the black collars, so there seems to be some consistency there, or they're at least trying again to actually make amends for some of the mistakes with the uniforms and the look of Discovery and all that. And because this is still, it looks like it's all Discovery. So, but it's Enterprise, but it's still Discovery. So that was good to see. But the problem, the thing that freaks me out, I mean, they're doing a Tribbles story, which should be awesome, but they've somehow made the Tribbles, which don't even have real mouths, into carnivorous killers. And you actually see a shot of a woman being eaten alive by a bunch of Tribbles. So, of course, Discovery had to take something great and fuck it up. I mean, killer Tribbles. In the Mirror Universe, maybe that could be funny. So, I mean, I love Tribbles. I actually have about 1,000 of them, actually. Years ago, I made like 1,000 of them. Every time I would go to like a Spotlight store in Australia, that's where they sell materials and that, I would look through the furs. If I saw any interesting furs, I'd buy a meter and make 100 or so Tribbles, and eventually, or 50 or 100, and eventually I end up with over 1,000 of them. I was known as the fan of 1,000 Tribbles for a while. I nearly made it into the Trekkies 2 documentary. I'm glad I didn't, but I nearly did. But they came to the Austrac fan club I was a member of at that time. But yeah. Okay, so I don't know what to say. I'm glad they're focusing on the Pike era. There is another story. I don't see. It's hard to tell if they're different stories or we're just seeing footage from one story. But there are scenes with Pike where he's being, the ship's at red alert. Some girl has taken him captive. He's shackled. He's looks like they're in engineering or something, and he's a prisoner. And there's some crisis, and he's basically saying to this girl, if you ignore this crisis for whatever reasons that you're doing this, you'll never step on a ship again. I don't know if this is a cadets, if it's a drill, what that is. So there seems to be a Pike story, and there was some question as to whether he'd come back or if he'd do a series. Could they just get him for short treks, or if they can get him for short treks, why can't they get him for a series? Are they just going to do a series after Picard because they can't afford to produce both at the same time, and probably work-wise they couldn't do that? Is it just going to come after? So that's very good. That is very that's a really good sign. The fact that they've got him back on for this means there could be more. So there's that story, and then there's the Treble story, and then there's the Spock story. Is that 3 separate stories, or is that just one very, very crowded short trek? But I guess they have to be separate stories because it's not like an episode where they have A, B, C stories. They don't have time in a short trek. Short trek is 15 to 20 minutes. I don't think any of them went as long as 20 minutes. I think the most was about 18. So they'd have to be separate stories. They're doing 6. The names are Ask Not, Children of Mars, The Girl Who Made the Stars, The Trouble with Edward, which I'm guessing is the guy. I'm guessing someone experimented on Tribbles and made them into cannibals or carnivorous or something. That's the only thing I can think of, because he does state that he's made some sort of great discovery. And Iphium and Dot and Q&A. So which ones are the 2 animated and which ones are the 4 live action? It's hard to tell. We saw at least 3 live action stories. So it looks like we're getting a Treble story, what was Burnham? She was a traitor, a mutiny story, and a bonding story. And they literally have Spock and Number One stuck in an elevator together. Whether that's the whole episode, I hope it's more than that. They just get stuck in an elevator on the way to the bridge. If that's the whole thing, it's just them talking, that would be disappointing. I want them to do more than that. If that's just a short scene, that's great. I'm afraid that's going to be the whole thing, because that's a very cheap episode. Transporter set, paint some panels orange, walk from the transporter to the elevator, get stuck in the elevator, step off on the bridge. Whole episode, they haven't spent any money on anything other than the 2 or 3 actors. If they don't go onto the bridge, if we don't see the bridge, it's is it going to be that cheap? Is it going to be that? Part of me is excited because of possibilities, potential, things that are, short bits we're getting. We've heard a bit more about Picard. I've heard a bit more about Picard. There is talk that the guy that we see who's having what appear to be Borg implants removed could be Hugh. I guess I'll do another video for that. But this is just about short treks. And this is not much more to go on, but I don't know. Could the cannibal Tribbles or the flesh-eating Tribbles, could it be interesting? Could it be funny? Could it work? Or is it just ruining what could have been a fun story? Ruining what could have been. Are they ruining the Tribbles? Have they changed? Have they become man-eaters? Or is this just some guy who experimented on a Tribble and now there's, if they multiply, there could be billions of man-eating Tribbles at some point. So, God, the mind boggles. I'm just going to leave it there. I have seen it. I have reacted to it. I am optimistic for some, worried for others, but it does look like overall they're going in the right direction. And really the only thing that tips it over the edge to I was feeling optimistic is the last shot of a girl with a little piece of fur on a spoon saying, "Ooh, yum, it's like furry, it tickles." I'm like, why is a girl eating it? Why is she promoting it? And why have they got a kid that can't act? It was just awful, cringeworthy, not funny. If they just had stopped before that point, it would have been like, interesting, what are they going to do? Oh, they're going to do that. Oh. So, I guess there'll be 3 good short treks. And the animated ones, they could be good as well, but we don't know what we're going to see there. I don't know what else they're going to release. I'm just going to leave it there. Please feel free to share, like, comment. If you guys know anything, let me know. I'm going to be watching a lot of videos to try and work out what is happening. Thanks, bye.